I'm bedridden. I've taken to the bed. So anyway, if you see the banner, it says that I've had a near-death experience, and I receive downloads still to this day. And I've gotten a really specific download for a group of people, and I set the intention that whoever needed this the most today would find me and find this story and find the alignment. I posted on my page a series of numbers, and this morning this beautiful ethereal woman showed up in my bedroom, and she said, "Wow, I want to talk to you about something." Okay, there are a lot of new people, so let me just give you my backstory real quick, and then we'll get into what she told me, okay? So, like I said, my name's Erica, and about 10 years ago, I was placed on hospice with a rare incurable terminal illness called Shaw-Drager syndrome or multi-system atrophy. I was fully expected to pass away within 6 months to a year. At the end of that 6 months, I didn't pass away, but I was fully prepared to. I had visited lawyers, gotten my ducks in a row, made last wills and testaments, got my insurance stuff taken care of, and then a year came and went. And against the advice of everyone in my family and my doctors, I pulled myself off of hospice, and I started these new experimental treatments, and that made me healthy enough to carry and unexpectedly deliver a child. My disease completely masked the symptoms of my pregnancy. I was 32 weeks when I found out that I was pregnant. I thought my disease had progressed, and I was getting, I just thought it was part of disease progression. And I thought, okay, now I feel it. I'm probably ready to die. And so I go to the doctor, and they tell me that I have a few weeks to prepare for a baby. So I had just spent all this time preparing myself for the end of my life, and now I have to refocus, redirect, and plan on bringing a new life in. At the time of my C-section, I coded, and I was quickly resuscitated on the surgical table. I was moved to a room, and a few hours after that, I lost all the blood in my body and lost my life for over a minute. And a lot of things happened during that minute. I watched my husband watch me die. I watched the color drain out of his face as it left my body. I left my body and could see the entire room and see my body. Part of me was still watching that room, and I could feel and smell the fear in that room. And I watched doctors, and I watched this trauma response team rush in and put IVs all through my body and start these blood transfusions. And I watched the blood pumping into my body, and nothing was happening because it was just coming out of my body as fast as it was going in. And then I went to surgery without anesthesia because my blood pressure was too low to stop the bleeding. And I could see myself through all these things, but something happened to where my consciousness split. And for a moment, I was still watching my body, but I left and went somewhere else. I was met by my dad and my meemaw, but it wasn't in physical form. It was like in an energetic form. And in that instant, every belief system, every thought I had ever thought, this experience that I had changed every aspect of my life. I live in a very different way. I already had this really rare opportunity when I was on hospice to live like I was dying, and then to actually experience death and new life and come back. I came back with some gifts that I already had, like I don't know what even you call them, like because the way that I grew up, it was called necromancy and it was looked down upon, like talking to spirits. So I was discouraged from using these gifts and these talents from a very early age. And now that I'm older and know that everything that I was taught to believe was a lie, I can fully embrace this, and I've set out to help you all on your journey, because I know it's not easy when you're awake. It's not easy. It's and there's a reason that we're all the light workers and the spiritualists, or the people who the clairs. Yeah, I've had all those ever since I was little. I've been connected to the earth and the pulse of the earth, and know that there's something above and a below, and there's also something in between, and all three of those things are greatly significant. So today, this beautiful ethereal woman comes into the bedroom. I've been in bed for a couple of days, and I'm up and down now. All my drains and catheters are removed, and so I'm getting up and down now by myself. And I came out of the bathroom, because that's a rule in my house. Like, that's the only boundary I have. Just don't follow me in the bathroom. And she approaches me, and immediately I felt the same presence whenever I met Jesus. Okay, so this is important. Some of y'all in here will need to hear this, okay? Whenever I met Jesus, my meemaw had a picture up on her kitchen wall of this, like, light-skinned, blue-eyed, brown-haired man. And when I met Jesus, because I devoted my life to Jesus, let me tell you something, all 38 years of it, I was a follower of Jesus Christ. I was in church. I was reading that Bible up like a good Christian would. And let me tell you something, I was allowed to see Jesus in physical form, and he was nothing like that picture. He was dark-skinned, almost jet black eyes, jet black hair, and he had this presence about him that felt familiar and safe and loving. And then I saw that he sat with all of these ascended masters, like thousands and thousands of men and women and non-binary people and energies. Okay, so when this lady came in my room this morning, a friend of mine and I were having a conversation about the energy and the archetypes, and how words are insufficient. And last night, I couldn't sleep, and this same woman had given me water after a conversation yesterday. And I was thinking, water is everything. It can be in any shape and any form, and it can also be restructured. And this is important because you need to understand there have been things that have kept us out of divine alignment. And I'm going to tell you one of the basic things that she told me this morning. She showed me my Social Security card, and she said, okay, I didn't know how I was going to explain this, but I'm going to show you exactly what she showed me, or explain to you exactly what was shown to me. She showed me this person, and in the center of, you can imagine all the chakras aligned, and outside of this person is a triangle. And I talked to y'all about the triangle. Yes, Jason, yes, this is an important realization. Okay, so at the end, we've been in this triangle, right? Like, or so we think. Back in the old days, tribes would know the person's alignment, where they were born underneath the stars, and their name even aligned with their placement. That has been removed from us. This lady came to tell me, she's an ascended master, and she said, my love, listen to me. You've helped these people reclaim their power. You've helped these people revoke consent. But I want to show you something. Numbers have been given to you at birth to keep you out of that circle and that triangle. And where people can't be who they were made to be because they're removed from their true essence and their true energy. Numbers are extremely important. Numbers form patterns. Numbers form placements. The house numbers that we live in can affect us. The phone numbers that we have can change. This may be too far out there for some people, but trust me when I say this is meant for you. If you're aligning with this today, I set an intention before this that you would be aligned with the message and that it would resonate and that you would just understand it because words are insufficient for it. I think about the first time Jesus was trying to speak to people and how completely frustrating and overwhelming it must have been for him because words are so insufficient. I think about Muhammad and Kuan Yin and Saint Germain, how they tried to speak truth, but very few people could understand what the heck they were talking about. So I'm meant to share this with you today. If you're here, thank you for that, okay? So I want to start by saying we all have a placement. We all have alignment. And it does not take much for us to become misaligned or disrupted. If one of our energetic outputs, if one of our electrical currents is disrupted or out of line, it can throw off our whole center, our whole purpose, our whole divine alignment. So back in the very beginning, people knew their placement. They knew where they were born. They knew, and even the whole entire village, the whole tribe, the council would support them because they knew their energetic archetype and what they were made for. And so, this is, it's very difficult to explain, but it doesn't take much to be misaligned. They knew who they truly were. And so this lady came to me this morning and she said, I want you to give this collective, these star seeds, light workers, indigo children, rainbow warriors, whatever you identify as, artists, empaths, healers, seers, I want you to give this collective a new number. A new number where they can negate the number that has been misaligned with them. And she said to me, I'm going to give you a series of numbers, and she showed me in color what they are. And it's been inverted. Like we thought 369 or 427. Like we've always thought these numbers, and she said everything is inverted. So it's still there, but it's a puzzle. It's a riddle. And I'm going to help you figure this out. And she said to me, make it make sense as best you can. So I'm going to show you exactly how I've thought of it and in my mind. In the beginning, when there were 4 original tribes, and now there are 5, okay? So back in the beginning, those 4 original tribes came from 4 different directions. And they knew their directions. They knew their place. They knew their alignment, the energy that came into the world with them. And so here's what I'm going to say. Imagine like a map, okay? This is a divine blueprint, a divine map. And you were in the center, okay? In the beginning, we were all in the center. And then there was this triangle around us. And then outside of that triangle is a sacred circle. Okay? And through experiences and healing and growth, the inversion that happened has kept us in the lower quadrant of this triangle, ping-ponging back and forth and back and forth. There's more. There's more to that. There's more to this alignment. Instead of going back and forth, ping-ponging back and forth, think about propelling upward through all of your chakras, all of your energetic centers, and then getting to this third eye. Most people stop right here. Most people stop right here and think, I've had a Kundalini awakening. Wow, this is hard. This is rough. This is new, right? Like, we stop here and we're like, wow, we see the world so differently. And she said, there's more. You have to keep pushing through this. And then whenever you get to the very top of this triangle and this crown, it tilts, and then you become the circle and the energetic blueprint, and you become an ever spiraling, ever expanding energetic form. I hope this is making sense. I see it all so clearly in my mind. Okay, so what I'm going to say to you is, some of us have done hard work. We've had to hurt, to heal, and go through it, to grow through it. And we have learned to earn, right? So what if I told you the numbers that you were given at birth were not only meant to misalign one thing, but completely take you out of that triangle and that circle? What if I told you that you can reclaim all of that energy and that purpose and that power right now? And she gave me the numbers, and I'm going to do this with y'all. It's on my page, but I'm going to say this to y'all. Okay, so she gave me these numbers, and these are yours to use. And here we go. You ready? 936 147 528. 936 147 528. I align with the sacred code 936 147 528. I remember who I am. I restore the divine and true blueprint. I reclaim my true energy and purpose. Okay, so we want to awaken the divine memory and restore your soul and your energy's sacred blueprint, and reclaim true energy through intentional alignment, with this code 936 147 528. 936 is the soul's blueprint. 147 is the foundation of power. 528 is the healing harmonic. Each circle contains 3 symbolic items. Now, I call in my high self. I call in the memory of who I truly am. I call in the collective wisdom of this circle. We align with the sacred code 936 147 528. We remember, we restore, and we reclaim. Visualize 936 as a golden light at your crown. Feel the divine memory awaken, creative truth, love, and the mission of your soul and your energy returning. Now imagine 147, the foundation of power. Visualize violet light at your heart and in your belly. Feel your foundation strengthen. This is your sovereignty, structure, and sacred discernment activating. 528. Healing harmonic. Visualize soft emerald light moving through each of your cells. Feel healing, forgiveness, and renewal unfold from within. This code is alive in me. I walk in divine memory. I build in sacred harmony. I heal through infinite love. We are 936. We are 147. We are 528. We are whole. So I'm going to give you all this. It's on my page, and I want you to understand that just like you have a social security number, this is your true number. Hey, Cash. So the numbers that have been placed on you since birth are actually keeping you out of your triangle and your circle and misaligned. And I'm going to tell you something. It's, I've been given these contract revocations, right? And we've been doing these over and over and over again. But I don't always get all the answers at one time. You've called all back the power and all the energy. But I did not realize that these numbers were keeping us out of the freaking circle and out of the triangles. And so whenever we have done hard work and got back in our circles and our triangles, we're still stuck at that bottom part of the triangle, ping-ponging back and forth in the below and above, stuck in this physical and this spiritual place. But I'm telling y'all, if you claim the power and energy back and you claim that number, you will transcend. You will move through all those channels and you won't stop here. You'll keep going. And when you get to the top point of that triangle, it tips because your crown is heavy. Heavy is he who wears the crown. This is your crown. And whenever that gets heavy, you tilt and then you become your circle. Okay, so I know whoever is hearing me, this makes some kind of sense because I just can't explain it. But she entered into this realm in existence. It is hard to communicate with people. So I just want to take a moment and thank her for this information. And I want to be grateful and send gratitude her way. I'm going to tell you something else she told me. I've got this posted as a picture on my page. And she said that, because I asked her, I said, when should we do this? And there's another part of this. I don't want you to think this is a magic wand, okay? I'm sharing what she's telling me to share. The most powerful day to do this is on a full moon or a new moon. And any day that adds up to 9. Okay, so she said the 27th is the next day. Well, that just so happens to be a new moon. And I was like, holy crap, I had chills all over my body. And I was like, thank you for this alignment. So I want to talk to y'all about something about water too, okay? This is on my page, and I want you to speak this over your water. Speak it into your water and let it sit. And then before you drink it, I don't know why this is important, but I'm telling y'all exactly like she told me. You need to swirl it counterclockwise 5 times in a singular fluid motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you drink. So, yeah, I'm going to do this as well. I've already done it today, but I will be doing it on the new moon as well. Because, but this is just some powerful junk that we've stepped into right now. And listen, it's not lost on me. During my loss of life experience, I know that I was shown numbers are extremely important. And you say this whole thing. You say, I align with the sacred code 936147528. I remember who I am. I restore the divine blueprint, and I reclaim my true energy and purpose. And then we can also say, this code is alive in me. I walk in divine memory. I build in sacred harmony. I heal with infinite love. Or you can even say, I am 936. I am 147. I am 528. I am whole. And so that is about overriding the numbers that have been placed on you since birth. It's about holding that intention and that energy. And so that is actually on my page. If you go to my page, it's there as just a picture, and you can screenshot it or write it down, whatever you need to do. Speak that over water. Let it sit with that intention. And then she showed me like this. You take this cup and swirl it counterclockwise 5 times. And then we drink this water. And we let it live within our cells. Okay, so I know this is... I was so worried about sounding off my rocker. And I set an intention that whoever needed this message today would find it. What if I told you those numbers that were placed on you have kept you out of your divine alignment? This is not about manifesting anything. This is about realigning with what has always been yours. The energetic blueprint. Your energetic blueprint. Shannon, do I totally understand? No. Do I feel it? Yes. Sometimes, okay, so that's what I'm going to say to y'all too. I was having the conversation with a friend this morning, and my friend said something very similar. I don't really understand it, but I feel it. So that's what I'm telling y'all, that I think all ascended masters, all people who have had these experiences, you can't always explain it in words or images, but you can feel it. You know that it holds some kind of depth and some kind of power. Okay, our water, like, something about... Well, Pedrella, that was divine alignment, I'll tell you. So listen, there's something that I don't really realize how differently I live sometimes, but I have always thanked my water for cleaning me and sustaining me. And maybe that's something that we need to get back to, because I know that memory is held in water, just like it's held in our body. Water does have a memory. And look, we're a lot of water, you know? We've caught, like, I've been given, like, my dad and Shelly Miscavige came through and gave me these contract revocations, like, the breaking of past life oaths and vows, and we've done those together. But there's something more about this. Like, we've done some things to reclaim and call back our energy, but now we can negate everything that has been disrupted or misaligned or taken away. This was always meant to be who you were. So I want to say this. There was a time in history, maybe long ago, maybe not so long ago, that people paid attention to where they were born and the stars that aligned, the constellations. And we would know from that moment what we were born to do, what our energetic archetype is and was, and then the people around us would even know, so they could support us and encourage us on this path and this journey. And we've lost that along the way. It doesn't matter what this is not about manifestation. This is about reclaiming your divinity, your sovereignty, your power, your energy, who you were made to be. Okay. So, does the Pope's death signal a change in... Yes, very much so. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Tiffany, I uploaded a live to maybe a couple of days ago where I talked about the Pope's death and how prophecies are being manipulated. Oh, God. I don't want to go into that today. This feels like enough to talk about. This movement, this collective, defies any division that has been made for us. It goes beyond religions. It goes beyond politics. It goes beyond class, creed, color. And I'm going to tell you something really... my heart breaks for people. It really does. And I wrote something last night that I've been telling y'all there have to be new stories. There have to be new traditions, new everything. Because we can't keep absorbing the same stories and slightly changing them, hoping that history will change. It has to be something that we all embody and rise above. We have to rise above any hatred or division or intolerance. And we have to love unconditionally. We have to love fiercely. And we have to feel deeply. And I know many of y'all do. Many of y'all do that. But the numbers... I don't know why I didn't get that before now. But the numbers that are placed on us at the time of our birth. And it's not even malicious, because one number can be changed. It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle for you to figure out that, wow, this number can kind of challenge me in my life. This number may keep me unhealthy. This number may keep me from my successes in life. This new number that I have been given and given to you and shared with you will override any number that's been placed on you. And I am buzzing. I am telling you that not only is this totally possible, but it's already happening. My ancestors have already done this for me and have aligned me to be able to see and make you aware of that. This is part of, like, my meemaw. Okay, I'm going to tell you all this. It's important for someone in here. My meemaw used to tell me that her granny, would, every year on a certain day, they would go and tell the bees. It was called telling the bees. And Granny would go and tell the hive about the hardships of the year and the joys of the year. Like if there were marriages, births, deaths, she would tell the beehive. And the bees then would communicate to the earth and to the rest of the hive and to nature all around, and help support them. And there's something about bees that keeps coming up. Bees are fascinating creatures. They can tell each other directions, like up to 200 miles away, where to get food. And this is the collective. This is the network that is buzzing right now. You may see some spiritual content creators get really quiet right now, or they've been quiet for a minute. And I'm going to tell you, that's for a reason. And you may feel like, where are my creative juices? Why can't I think of anything? You know, we're being told to conserve and rest, because what we're about to have to step into is bigger than anything that you can imagine. Some people may be questioning this whole new earth, this whole 5D thing, but I'm telling you, it's here. And it doesn't matter what you see on the TV. It doesn't matter what you hear on the radio. You've got to get super focused on you and your community and what you feel led to do. We're not being cut off. We're being told to rest and conserve. And I think part of this surgery was delayed. Like, I was supposed to have this surgery like last summer. And, you know, I felt like it was divine intervention that I just was not going to have the surgery. And then a year later, here I am laid up in this bed, because my ancestors know that I'm not going to slow down, because I made myself a promise on hospice that I would get up every day and I would get dressed and I would keep going. And so I do that. But this surgery was placed in my past so I could have time to reflect and conserve and be here for y'all in this moment. I know that. This number is yours. You can use it as frequently as you feel necessary, but please do this on the 27th and use your water. Yeah, Cash, I've been writing a lot too lately. Can we touch back on the 4 original tribes from the 4 directions? Is that tied to the sacred code? Okay, Dee, let me tell you this. The 4 original tribes of the earth came from different directions. There were 4 different colors. And each of those tribes had a divine blueprint and a divine energy, and they were never meant to separate or hate. They were always meant to celebrate and cherish each other's cultures, because when they come together, they form a complete circuit, the sacred circle. You swirl the water counterclockwise, because it's been inverted. So you have to swirl counterclockwise to get rid of the inversion. That's what I was told anyway. So listen, I'm going to tell y'all, the 4 original tribes of the earth came from different directions. They were different colors. Hang on, I got to turn this fan on. I'm getting a hot spell. Oh gosh, it's still rough to get up. So anyway, we were always supposed to meant to celebrate and cherish each other. And then through certain times, we would think, oh, that person thinks differently than I do, so I don't like them anymore. They don't think like me. They don't talk like me. So I'm not gonna be with a person of that tribe anymore. And what happens is each time that we have, Lord help, each time that we have divided from one another, we have ended up destroying humanity. So there's that. And now there's another tribe that is on earth. And they're the 5th tribe, and they are a combination of all 4 tribes and a star system. So some people may not agree with that, but that's how I've been shown and that's what I've seen. So I have to go with what I've been shown and what I've been told. And that's what I'll always share with you. Oh, wow. You found a unfinished Harold. Thank you, Gemma. I'm grateful for you. What are we doing on the 27th with the water? Okay. So I will upload this to my YouTube channel. It is linked on my... I don't have a link tree. It's just on my... Lord help me. This pain knows. I'm grateful for pain because it keeps me feeling alive. I know I'm alive when I feel it. Thank you, Miss Rose. I love you. So, listen. I'll just tell y'all something. I've been through a lot in my lifetime. And I know a lot of y'all have too. But I am going to... Thank you, Jason. So, I'm going to say this. We were always meant to celebrate and cherish each other and to form the complete circuit. And it is easy in this lifetime to look around and think, what the hell is going on? And it is easy to get distracted by the news and the media. The world is a stage, y'all. And the sooner that we can realize that and act accordingly, then we'll have it all figured out. Part of one of the things that I want to say about the 4 original tribes and now the 5th tribe, this is what is so hard about spirituality, or because we are all made very differently. We all connect to the creator of all things in very different ways. So in spirituality, if someone tells you they know your way, if they know the way, then run away because they know their way and what works for them. And maybe their tribe. Even different energies within the same tribe can connect very differently depending on the energy and the archetypes. But all of the energy is here and you can tap into it at any time. But also it's more about aligning with your true and your highest self. And some of y'all have done a lot of hard work and healing, but you can't get there because all these numbers are still attached to you. So we're going to override those numbers and we're going to get you to where you need to be. And that's what we're doing on the 27th, because that day adds up to 9. That's when we'll harness it and use the new moon's energy. Okay, so I'm going to upload this, and I encourage y'all, and please do this, because some of y'all have put in a lot of hard work and you're almost there to where you want to be. And it's like the inversion has kept us in a place of bouncing around like a ping pong ball, back and forth. And instead of shooting up and out, some of us are stuck right here, but yet we're not even in our own triangle or our own circle. So we have to be given this number to push ourselves back into that circle and that center. And then you should be able to do the rest of the work and the alignment. It's just so beautiful. It doesn't matter what time of day. Just use that energy of the new moon. I think I'm going to do mine at, let's see, what time? 9:36 maybe. Because we had that 936 number. So maybe 9:36 might be a good time to do that. What else do y'all want to talk about today? Let's talk about some other things. I wanted to share the numbers and how important they were. That's interesting. So listen, there are lots of ascended masters, and whenever I got to to see that. We all have the ability to tap into any of those energies at any moment and any time. There is like this, if we think about a tree, I don't know if some of y'all know, but y'all remember I told y'all about that web of existence that my dad showed me, like this web above us? Well, it's below us too, but there's also one that runs right through the center of us. And if we can push ourselves back into this triangle and ascend and become the sacred circle, then, that's a powerful thing, y'all. It is powerful. Does anybody want to share anything, or anybody have anything to share today? Or that y'all think I need to know? I'll do that, Jason. Thank you for that. I love some reading. My daughter is so cute, y'all. Yesterday, Olive went to the library, and Gemma, I think it is normal because it's powerful, right? It's calling back what is yours. My daughter went to the library for story time yesterday, and they had St. Geordie Days, the patron saint of books. And we donate to the library, our local library, and she brought home a carnation and a flower, and I'm going to show y'all the book. She picked out this book for me, and she's 3 years old. I got so tickled. The Mitford Murders by Jessica Fellows. It cracked me up. But anyway, she's an old soul. She is something else. That's something about children, too, that I think is important. They remember who they are meant to be. And, the first time as a child when you get told, I remember my mom saying, you can't talk about dead people. You can't, I remember the first sleepover I went to, and I told my friends, well, there's a ghost in this house, and her name is Margaret, and she's been here for a few years, and my mom is like, what are you talking about, Erica? You cannot say that stuff. And so that was the first time that I learned it was not okay to be who I was. Okay? So the first time a child learns or is taught that's not okay to be who you are, then you stop being who you are. You stop being who you were made to be, and you forget along the way because you suppress that and you lose it over time. Well, I'm telling y'all, there's only one person who can be you, and it's you. And I want you to be so unapologetically you that you forget all the times you were told it was not okay to be you. I want you to forget all the times that someone told you you don't fit into their box. You don't fit into this society if you don't fit into this little box. We were never meant to fit inside of a tiny little box. We were made to shatter the glass. Well, it's coming a flood here. It just, the bottom fell out. Let's see. It's Geordie Day here in Spain. Well, listen, that's just the truth of reality, isn't it? That sometimes, because I look at it now, and I think that my mom was trying to protect me in a way, because I live in case my accent didn't give it away, I live in a really small, rural, conservative Christian area. And I know that in a way she was probably trying to keep me safe, but yet it made me think that I was wrong for being myself. And my daughters and my son are just like completely different. And listen, there are a lot of us in my age group and this generation who are made to be the trauma breakers. and shatter through that glass ceiling and heal generations of trauma. Oh, Cash, that's interesting. We need to talk about that. Did you message me and I didn't message you back? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I've been in and out, Cash, from this surgery. Thank you, Jason. So, does anybody else have anything they want to talk about? I just had to get that code to you today. And I think I'm just going to stay a few more minutes. I don't know if I told y'all, but I have a new golden retriever. He's 18 months old, and I swear to y'all that my dog Sadie sent herself back to me. The universe always has a way of working things out for you. And don't doubt yourself. Don't ever doubt yourself. I know that if you do good things, sometimes bad things happen to good people, right? But if you don't let the world harden you and change you, then things work out for you, and you will continue to not manifest, but allow blessings and big things in your life. Oh my gosh, I know. Listen, Mark, he will. I tell we tell Olive, she asked me what happens to Sadie. Did she get run over? And I said no, she choked on a chicken, because my neighbor, she ate a chicken and he ended her life. So it broke my heart, and I mourned her like I have not mourned in a long time. But 2 years later, here I am, sick and laid up in bed again. She was with me during hospice. She was my baby. And now here I am again, and this golden retriever just fell out of the sky and landed in our lap in our home. And he's not been treated very well. He's a little skittish, but he's coming around and feeling love and communicating with me a little bit more. So, you know, I'm gonna tell y'all something too about soulmates, or what people call twin flames. And I think it's ridiculous to think that we just have one person in our whole lifetime, okay? Because soulmates and twin flames can be walk-ins. They can walk in at any point, and they can change your life and touch part of your soul that you'll never forget. And sometimes they can come and go in a matter of a day or a week, and they change your life for the better, and they make you feel love in a way that you've never felt before. And so what I want to say to you, if you are lonely, which I know a lot of people are right now, if you are lonely, try to get back into looking for the glimmers, the small little glimmers in every day, because your soulmate can be a bird, a butterfly. It can come in a moment when you need it most and be sent to you from your ancestors or a spirit team. And you can have a moment of reflection, and you have those moments, or even if you look up in the sky and see a cloud formation and it's a heart or it's something else, and you think about love in that moment, then that is a soul connection. That's something that was sent for you, specifically for you in that moment. How do you contact dead loved ones? You just talk to them. Look, Cody, some people will hear them audibly, but a lot of people can't. And that's okay. I try to tell people not to get discouraged. But there's so many, like I said, there are 4 original tribes. There's 5 now. We all connect in very different ways. And it is incredibly difficult. I remember when I passed away and I tried to go to my family members and tell them, like, I kept saying the same things over and over again, and they were just like not hearing me. And I was like, oh my God, why can y'all not hear me? I felt like I was shouting and screaming, and then I tried whispering, and then I tried everything I could to get their attention. And I told them, I'm not going to be here anymore, but think of me like the wind. You will be able to feel me and remember me, but you won't be able to grasp me. And I remember after I had a little time to process it, I was asking my children, did they hear me? And my newborn could see me, and she smiled at me. And then my son said he thought he felt the wind, and he thought he felt me. And then my daughter said, no, I didn't feel anything. So you have to be an open channel. Yes, Gemma, thank you for that. I was just about to segue into that. My dad was trying to communicate with me the whole time that he passed away when I was very young, like 28 years old. He was 56. He was a young man. But now I know everything had to happen exactly the way it did. But my dad died April 15th. So he's been gone almost 15 years now. And, 15 years. And on my birthday's May 18th. And I remember on that day, I was driving home from work, and I was thinking that my birthday will never be the same without my daddy here. And about that time, I looked up and saw a cloud formation in the shape of a birthday cake and candles. And I talked myself out of believing it. I was like, no, I'm stretching, I'm reaching, and I'm just wanting connection. And then the first thing that my dad said to me whenever I passed away was, did you get the birthday cake and candles I sent you? And my heart was just crushed. I thought, oh my God, he's been trying this whole time to communicate with me, and I keep shutting him down. I mean, he understood it, of course, because the programs and things that we have to follow us around make us think that we're not really communicating. But I'm going to tell you, our ancestors have different ways of communicating with us. It may just be a memory. It may be a dream. It may be, there are no magic words. There's no magic way to do it. You think of them and you acknowledge them and speak to them. There's nothing wrong with talking to those energies, because they leave a fractal of themselves here with us. I dreamt about my grandfather, and while reading, sat on bed and touched my legs. So they'll come in dreams, and cloud formations, and it's really hard for, once you're passed away and you don't have a body anymore, or a larynx or anything like that, it is very hard to communicate, because it takes every ounce of energy and effort to say something and get something through to you. And sometimes, okay, I'm glad, Tea House, you asked me, what if the dreams are negative? Sometimes, when our ancestors visit us and give us a dream, it's not meant to be taken literally. Sometimes it can be metaphorically, and they use any means that they can to talk to you and tell you. And sometimes, yes, and I've had a penny fly from my bathtub out of thin air. Yes, it was probably definitely your husband. And let me tell y'all something. Anytime y'all think about that person, it's because part of them is there with you. And I know that seems kind of silly, but a memory holds energy. It holds energy. Uh, um, if you shared a time and a space and a specific memory with a person, that holds energy. And that energy can be left at that moment and in that time and space just for you. It's not going to be so physical for some people. Sometimes it's going to be like a cloud formation or a penny showing up somewhere or a heart-shaped rock or I don't know if I told y'all, I've got a, oh gosh, if I can get up again, y'all, I hate this. I hate not being able to get up and go like I'm supposed to or like I want to. But I have to show y'all, this was a beautiful thing. It's not about manifesting anything. It's about paying attention and being open to communication, because a lot of times we're closed off from communication. I am moving so slow. Sometimes it's just about being open to receiving. And I want to show y'all something. Right before my surgery, I had this bizarre experience. I don't know if y'all have seen my post yet, but we ended up, so I had a long drive. I'm about 3 hours away from Nashville. I live in a small town. So to get my surgery, I had to go to Nashville. And my husband and I decided that we would go and stay the night somewhere. So we booked this little cabin, and when I got there, I said, gosh, Trey, this looks really familiar. And then all of a sudden, I felt these songs coming to me and these poems coming to me. And then I saw all of these beautiful things, and I realized that we had accidentally booked Johnny Cash's cabin in right outside of Nashville. And I want to show y'all something. So we stayed in Johnny Cash's cabin, and I don't know if I can turn this around. I don't ever know how to turn this around, y'all. I'm getting old. So look, I'm going to show y'all what I found. I went outside and I said, I just need to be surrounded by love and peace right now, and I need to know that everything is going to be taken care of. And I looked down at my feet and I felt the presence of my dad, and I want to show y'all what I found. I don't know if y'all can see that. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 heart-shaped rocks. 6. And then this little crystal quartz. So, and then not only that, there are some older houses. Johnny Cash's house, his actual house, I don't know if it burnt down or flooded, something happened, but there's still a chimney there. And I walked outside, and it's over a little ways from the other cabin. And I walked down a little ways, and I look up at this hearth that used to be the chimney in the fireplace. And there's a heart on top of that chimney. So, I know that our ancestors and the inhabitants that were here on the earth before us have very special little ways of showing us that we are going to be okay, and that we are guided and protected in ways that we can't understand. And there's Ranger. Hey, Ranger. Ranger has come back to me. The stars have aligned, and y'all, I just know life is great, and we have to Y'all, I just know life is great, and we have to, it's a sacred gift. And once you start treating it like that, he is a doll, baby, y'all. He's so precious. He's still a little skittish, but he's getting warmed up to everybody. He likes all the other animals. He likes the goats and dogs, and it's just humans he's not so sure about yet, but he'll get there. We love up on him a lot. So life is a sacred gift. Oh. Even whenever it hurts. Even when it's painful. Because in those times of pain, we can turn it into... Sorry. Sometimes when we feel pain, we can turn it into power and purpose. And that's alchemy. That's the magic of it all. And so I want y'all to embrace the sacredness of life and remember that it's sacred, and it will start treating you like it is, and you'll start seeing the sacredness all around you. I think sometimes we get so busy and we don't just be still. We don't tell the universe what we need and at the moment. And if you are and you're open to do that and you're open to connection, then it happens. It truly does. And it surprises me sometimes. I know that sometimes when I talk about my life, I think, gosh, I know that this sounds unbelievable. It's a sacred gift. It is a sacred, sacred gift. Well, listen, we may have forgotten the meaning of life, but I'm telling y'all, that number is going to help y'all out. Heart of Stone could be an amazing poem. Cash, I've had some songs come, like whenever I was there at Johnny Cash's cabin, I wrote 2 songs that night. And let me go back. I saw a comment and I didn't want to overlook it. Christy. Okay, I lost my son last year and I saw him 2 times, I hope. And I heard him call my name, but did I really? See? Okay, don't doubt. Don't doubt. Yes, you did. You heard it. You heard him. You felt him. You saw him. And the only thing that is stopping you from knowing that is your limiting beliefs. And I'm sorry that you have been taught that that's not how life works, because if we all truly knew what we were capable of and we don't just exist in this body, then we would be unstoppable. We would be powerful. We would be magical. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to step back into my power. I am ready to step into my role on this new earth and embrace it fully. I am ready to love. I'm ready to show y'all how much love is on this earth and how abundant it is. We were always meant to have abundant health and wealth and love. Some people, anybody can feel love. Anybody can tap into that source, that energetic source of love. And some people back away from it because it's scary. I'm going to tell y'all something. It's scary to love people as much because you don't ever know if you're getting hurt. But I told my daughter the other day, my 17-year-old daughter, I said this, and my 3-year-old, the same lesson, but in a different way. So this is meant for me to share. Olive, she's 3, and she skint her knee pretty big, and she was bleeding. And she was devastated. She was just crying, and in the same week, my daughter experienced a heartbreak, a big heartbreak, through a boyfriend. She's 17, and I want to tell y'all something. Whenever you love like you are meant to love, unconditionally and without hesitation, without resistance, when you love like that and you live like without hesitation, without resistance, you will get boo-boos. You will get a scraped knee. You will get a broken heart. But that means that you are living in the most authentic way. You're living as a human. You are experiencing, you are love having a human experience. Don't ever regret loving. Don't ever regret stepping into life and actually living it. Most people are so scared to die that they don't ever live. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. Most people are so scared of dying that they never live. And that's unfortunate. I don't think it's by choice. I think once you can recognize that, you can change it. Thanks. I love y'all. And I appreciate y'all sharing time and space with me. Cash, message me again. I'm so sorry I didn't get back with you. And I appreciate each of y'all who have been key holders for me and kept information safe for me. Kept letters and videos and things safe for me during this time. I really, truly appreciate each of you. Let me see what else is coming. Something else is coming through. Y'all, I want to try something. Cash, you have my phone number, I think, don't we? We've been talking and emailing, right? Let me see something. Hang on here. There's somebody. There's a message coming through. Hang on. You were playing. Somebody you lost watched you play and smile for the first time in a long time. And they say that they were glad to see you smile again. And they want you to keep smiling. I don't know who that message is for. Somebody in here. I'm seeing playing. I don't know what you were doing. But that made somebody happy. Does that message resonate with anybody? You have not. They said that you hadn't smiled in a really long time. And you even caught yourself smiling. Okay? This is a male energy. You even caught yourself and stopped yourself. Because you didn't feel like it was right to enjoy life without them. This message is for somebody in here. Y'all, it's okay to live. It's okay to be happy. You need to play, embrace play, and use your imaginations. You were made to create. Christy, it could be for you. If it resonates, then take this message, okay? So I don't do this a lot where I give messages, but it's a strong presence coming through and he wants to be heard. Yes, I know. Shannon, you did start creating, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see that. I think a lot of our ancestors are coming through and telling us to remember to play and use our imaginations. There's a time coming where we need to create new things, new stories, new ideas. And, my daddy used to say, what was it? He said something about, well, gosh, the message has escaped. Same day, different dollar. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway. Just gonna be real with y'all. Okay, let me see here. Mark. I'm reading y'all's comments. Sorry, I got quiet for a second. There's always people coming through to talk to y'all, but just know that y'all can do this. Y'all can do this yourselves. I've had so many downloads from surgery. From the time that I entered surgery to the time I came out, my husband said they called him back there to help me because I was a handful after surgery. I was stealing the nurses' pens and writing poems on the back of paper. And I came out with such clarity, and like I wanted to write everything that I saw down before I forgot. And I wrote over and over and over again, and I remember the nurse's name, Mackenzie, and I was like, Mackenzie, I need a pen and a paper. I've got some stuff to write down. And she was like, no. And so they called Trey back there, and they were like, can you please get her to calm down? And I was so excited about all the information that was coming through, and this is an exciting time to be alive, and it's a sacred time. Something sacred is being born, and we have to trust and know that. And this is more than a fourth turning. I read that book decades ago and thought, wow, this is all there is to life. The fourth turning. I don't know if y'all have ever read that book, but it's like about cycles throughout history, and they just repeat themselves over and over and over again. And I realized within this last few years that there's a new way forward. There's a way out of these cycles, and it's through new stories and through new traditions and new honors and remembering how sacred this life is to begin with. I'm so glad to be sharing time and space with all of y'all. I don't know. That book is a really good book, The Fourth Turning, but I no longer believe that that's the only way. I think it is something that we're meant to change and shake up. So, all right. Well, I'm going to say this. I'm grateful for all of y'all. I'm grateful for alignment, and I treasure and value each one of you. I'll upload this to YouTube in case you missed it. And I love y'all. Keep leading with love. Trust yourselves and know that this is a beautiful, sacred gift of life. All right. I love y'all. See you next time.